In this segment, we will show you how to install the Vance Hines Twin Slash 2-in-2 Black on the new Yamaha Bolt. Unplug the O2 sensor from the main wire harness. Loosen the clamp at the front of the muffler. Remove the two button head screws that attach the muffler to the stock mounting bracket and remove the muffler assembly from the vehicle. Please note, be careful not to damage the O2 sensor lead. Using a 22mm wrench, carefully remove the O2 sensor from the muffler assembly and save for reuse with the new system. Remove the right side foot peg and brake assembly. Please note, this assembly contains the brake light switch and wire. Use a wire or some other suitable method to hang the assembly off the motorcycle, being careful not to stretch or damage the brake light wires. Remove the stock nuts from the front cylinder and the bolts from the rear cylinder and carefully remove the stock header from the motorcycle. Please note, you will reuse the stock bolts and nuts to install your new header assembly. Remove the stock mounting bracket. Also check the stock exhaust gaskets and replace them if they are damaged or worn. Install the brackets supplied in the kit to the motorcycle chassis using the two 10x25mm and one 10x50mm flange head bolts supplied in the kit. Remove the exhaust system and heat shields from protective packaging and place them on a non-abrasive surface such as a blanket or carpet. Using a pencil or tape, mark the outside edge of the heat shield to show the location of the mounting clips the hose clamps will loop through. Carefully lay heat shields onto header assembly and loosely install the hose clamps, number 20, on the head pipe heat shields by feeding the tail end of the clamp into the heat shield clips. Please take note of the screw head direction. For adjustment purposes, they must be accessible when the system is installed. Align the front and rear head pipe heat shields and tighten the hose clamps, making sure the desired alignments are not changed. Apply a small amount of anti-seize compound to the threads of the stock O2 sensor and install it into the header assembly. Please note, be careful not to over-tighten or get anti-seize compound on the sensor tip, as this could damage or affect the sensor function. Using stock hardware, carefully install the system into the exhaust ports. Assistance may be required. Please note, install but do not tighten the exhaust nuts and bolts at this time. Attach the exhaust system to the bracket using the four 5/16 by 5/8 flange hex bolts supplied in the kit, and two nut plates supplied in the kit. Slide the nut plates into each of the brackets that are welded to the back of the muffler bodies and secure the bracket using four flange hex bolts. Please note, do not fully tighten at this time. Place the number 36 hose clamp supplied in the kit into the muffler heat shields and slide the muffler heat shields onto the muffler bodies, taking care not to scratch the head pipe heat shields. Please note, the heat shield with the logo should be on top. On the ends of the muffler heat shields so they allow a 1/4 inch reveal. Tighten the hose clamps on the muffler body heat shields while making sure they all remain level and aligned. Tighten the exhaust port nuts and bolts first, then the 5/16 and 5/8 hex flange bolts on the muffler bodies. Insert the O2 sensor plug back into the connector and tuck the harness back into its original position. Remove the two 10mm bolts from the right side foot peg and brake assembly that hold the brake master cylinder, and install the brake heat shield between the brake master cylinder and assembly, and reinstall the two 10mm bolts. Please note, the bend in the heat shield should cover the brake hose when installed correctly. A locking compound should be used on the 10mm bolts to prevent them from coming loose. Reinstall the foot peg and brake assembly. Check for adequate clearance between all exhaust system components and motorcycle accessories prone to heat damage. Be sure to tighten all hardware before starting your motorcycle. After installation and before starting the motorcycle, completely clean the pipes and the mufflers with soap and water and a soft, clean cloth. Please note, any residue, oil, or fingerprints will stain the finish when the metal heats up. Be sure to tighten all hardware before starting your motorcycle.